Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the FPL Lock-In, where every Saturday night we react to the game week. So we are 2 men down from the original lineup for tonight. Trig is, I think he's a bit tired. He's had a long day, so he's sitting out of tonight. Kanji had a last-minute meeting for his university, but he's hopefully going to join us at some point during the stream. It's been a very emotional day. Darius, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I've just watched Raw deliver me to the heights of the Fulham Division 7. I feel like that last 10 minutes of the Liverpool-Bournemouth game is biblical. Not only did Bournemouth win, which made me very excited because, you know, United fan, we love seeing Liverpool lose, but then Raw, off the bench at halftime, delivered a masterclass, a brace, an assist. Thanks for coming, 4-0 win. Murat, better watch out. D-Unit's coming, South Park FC, baby. All the way.
Yeah, it's been so we'll do what we usually do, and as I say, Kanji will hopefully join us at some point. We'll talk about the games, then we'll have a look at how we got on. I mean, up front, I think me and Darius have got on pretty well, to be fair. We're probably one of the few people in a good mood. And then we'll have a look at tomorrow's games and our early thoughts for next week. But first of all, Darius, we need to talk about it. And I know Trig would want to talk about it if he was here. The leaks. I mean, I'll tell you what my experience was. So I was in bed. I get up quite late on a weekend. So I was in bed at 10. Woke up. Usually I don't bother watching the deadline stream, but I switched on Andy's deadline stream. Of course, other great deadline streams like Darius's are available. And it gets like 20 minutes to deadline. I thought I'm going to turn it off now. And then he's like, well, actually, first of all, it was the odds changed. You know, Rob T's odds changed. That was about 45 minutes before the deadline. And he's like, they must have some significant team news. Because I didn't notice. But do you know they get the team news, the bookmakers, like in the morning of the...
Yeah, I know the odds change quite often before the thing. So I bet a lot on an NBA. So NBA, the markets change depending on whether certain players are going to be starting or whatever, like the lines and all that stuff will change. To be honest, I don't bother looking at odds for football until the games happen. But yeah... But I was telling you before in the chat, I said all week, this was the game he was going to get benched. Like if you looked at City's... You called it. Yeah, legit. I was like, it made sense. It's the only game. Like if they can't beat 20th placed Wolves without Haaland, they're not winning the league. Like they just aren't winning the league if they can't do that at home against Wolves. And I wasn't surprised. Wasn't surprised Foden got benched, which is why I sold him. I was a little bit surprised that O'Reilly started, but I feel like that might be more to the fact that Ake is not fit. And I misread that.
A lot of people thought he was going to get benched, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought he was. That's why I benched him. I would have, if I'd known that if Haaland was going to come on for a 1-pointer and O'Reilly was going to start, 100%, I would have definitely started O'Reilly instead.
So let me tell you, Darius, right? So 10 minutes, 15 minutes before, is it lazy FPL or someone tweets out that they're both benched? So I'm suddenly panicking, and I'm listening to another man panicking on a deadline stream. I stuck my captain on Thiago. I'd already made my transfer last night. Brought Anderson in ahead of Foden, and then I was like, "Do I bring Haaland out? And I actually was about to stick him on the bench, but as I hit the button, the site crashed. It didn't register, but I had no idea till the game refreshed that, you know what I mean, even what my bloody team was. But
who was your first bench?
Lacroix, I think. Yeah, Lacroix, Foden.
You could have been in for I feel like Lacroix definitely gets at least 3 points tomorrow. I would guess.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on Leeds? Because obviously we know a good friend of one of our fellow co-hosts, FPL Nightmare, wasn't watching a deadline stream. He didn't have Foden, did he? But he kept Haaland captain. Obviously didn't see the leaks. I mean, we haven't had many this season, have we? But I'm not a fan. I know Trig hates them.
See, I always say, like, in regards to that, like, I'll read out, if someone sends me something, I read out the lineup apparently that was going to be whatever it was. And I was very confident all week that Haaland was going to get benched. Like, I don't even like last week when Samuel Lockhurst spilled the lineup about like Man United against Man City. I was like, he's full of crap. Sometimes they're correct, sometimes they're not. I don't know how I feel about leaks in general. I feel like it's always going to happen. We live in a social media information age where shit just gets leaked all over the place, left, right, and center. So I don't think you can rule it out. But I don't know. For me, it's not a problem because like it didn't affect what I was going to do anyway. Like I had no panic when I read that. I was like, going, well, I was always going to start Haaland anyway because he can come off the bench and score, and I don't want to be. I know that the majority will still captain. He's still 160% plus effective ownership tonight.
170, yeah.
It's huge. So I was like going, I don't want to sit there and just bench him in the event that he comes on and scores a brace. So like I was never going to bench him when Bruno G was. I reckon Bruno G doesn't play, so that was the only one I was going to bench him for. But yeah, it's just. I don't know. What's your thoughts? For me, I'm not affected. I don't get affected by leaks of my own team. I look at them, I read them out, and I'm like, yep, whatever. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I've just done a quick poll to ask people if they had a chance to react to the leaks. Yes, no, what leaks? Because as you say, 170% ownership for Haaland in the top 10K. So just a lot of people who obviously take the game very seriously were not on the ball there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like them, but as people say, we're playing a game to try and win it, aren't we? Or try and get as high as we can. And if the advantage is there, you know what I mean? You're going to take it, or do you know what I mean? You're shooting yourself in the foot. And I mean, the strange thing about today is we've not had any leaks for ages, and then we have a leak 4 hours. It was like it's for a 3 p.m. game. Very strange. So I really don't know how to feel about it, except to feel bad for anyone who didn't get the information, like Andrew.
Yeah, I felt bad for Andrew, but I said to Andrew last night, like on the black box, I wrote in the comments, I was like, I'm disappointed you're captaining Haaland. Like every part of me this week, regardless of whether he'd started, whether he was benched, I was never captaining him. Never. I think differently about the game to most people, but my understanding was like I've watched City religiously because I've watched like all the games the last 6 game weeks, and he's been crap. Like he's been crap. Like he's bang out of form. He's got 1 penalty in the last 6 game weeks. Other than that, he's done nothing. So when you look at that, prior to like Dirty Dom obviously getting his big haul today, which we'll talk about in a minute, like you can't be captaining people that are in that kind of form. Like logic says you've got to captain someone that's in form, not just going off a hunch that it's a nice fixture and he's meant to be historically good against this team.
It was very similar to Salah at the end of last season, wasn't it? When he went completely off the boil and people just keep captaining him. I mean, I'm the same. I would have captained him if I didn't hear the leak. So I'm not.
Yeah. So I feel like the leak helped a lot of engaged managers potentially move off the Haaland captaincy, but in reality, I just sit there and look at it and go, I feel like if anyone understood football and looked at objectively, and he needed a rest. It's been obvious he's needed a rest for quite a few weeks now.
But they started him against Exeter.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like that's because Marmoush. I don't know why he played against Exeter.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be able to answer that.
True.
Like Marmoush wasn't there. That's all I can put it down to is that Pep did not trust running out an academy 18-year-old against Exeter, which he should have done because they would have been fine. They would have won anyway. And he only played 46 minutes. I still don't understand why he played that 46 minutes. But I feel like he's just been waiting for Marmoush to come back to give him a rest, and that's essentially what happened.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that he might now take this as a kick up the arse and send him on a bit of form. You know what I mean? Or you at least hope that if you didn't... I mean, some people sold him, but...
I think like I said that on my stream, Gary. I was like, who are we selling him for? Which other forward is out there? I mean, Jared Bowen. You could say for Jared Bowen, he's been a very good asset, 3rd top scoring forward in the game now, Gary. If you don't have Thiago, I suppose I can also kind of understand that. But there's a reason why he's the top scoring player in the game, Gary. He will come good at some point, and he's by far and away the best forward in the game. But yeah, you don't even have to think about it. This season, it's just a non-contest.
Do you think people who didn't bench them, either of them, were unlucky that they came on? Because obviously there was a chance that they wouldn't have come on, and then anyone who captained Haaland, for example, would have got the vice. Or do you reckon that's just run of the the run of the mill, the way game works?
I think, yeah. Well, I looked at a lot of people, and a lot of people had moved from a Haaland captain to an Ekatike captain. I mean, that worked out really well, didn't it? I mean, they got 1 point off the bench. I mean, to be honest, I sit there and look at it and go, if there was, as I said, I was never ever captaining Haaland or vice captaining this week. Like 100%. Like all my videos this week, he was not in the conversation because I just thought this is where he gets a rest. Like he needs a reset. Like 100%, he needs a reset. I feel sorry for Nightmare. I feel like if he was awake, he would have changed it. And I feel like I'm now going to overtake him this week because of the Haaland captaincy, which feels kind of nice because I'm going to overtake him. But at the same time, I feel like he's going to do a shed rant.
To get Ekatike benched as well. And he's had very bad luck, hasn't he? We'll get on to them. Yeah. Go on, sorry.
Like the captaincy, like if you had Haaland captain, right? Like there was a lot of people, a lot of stupid people that triple captain Haaland in a single game week.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
The second part of the season, why are you triple captaining in a single game week? I learned this lesson last week. It doesn't go well. It doesn't go well earlier in the season, even when I triple captain Haaland. Maybe the secret, Gary, is not triple captain Haaland and triple captain someone else that actually will get the job done.
Especially not in a single game. I mean, we even know that Arsenal have got a double coming up in a few weeks, don't we? So
yeah, Gabriel's a really good shout.
Yeah, should we say a quick load of people in the chat? I mean, there's loads of people in there now. Currently, it looks like about 2/3 of people saw the leaks. So 62%, yes, 33% no, and what leaks 5%. So, even the viewers are obviously going to be our channels are going to be massively engaged. A third of them didn't see it, you know what I mean? So hi to Toby, Chris, Clapton, RS, Erkan, Avi, Claire, Harry, FPL Offside, hello mate. Andrew, Rob Taff was having a chat to last night about his boxing channel. Alex Sweet, Dublin Target, China, Rinder. Oh god, there's so many people, and everyone else who's joined the chat has joined the chat since he started. So should we have a look at the games, mate? So
yes,
obviously you watched them all, so very good game start to the game week for yourself. I didn't have anyone involved with this. So West Ham 3.
Really quickly before you go over the games, I just want to point out something. So we've had how many games? 5 games today? 4 games? 5 games.
5, yeah.
I really want you to bring up Rob T's predictions before this game week because the D-Unit called 3-1 West Ham versus Sunderland. It finished 3-1. And I also, Gary, won't believe this, and it was quite unlucky, this result, because I feel like it could have gone either way. I also predicted Fulham 2, Brighton 1. So I'm 2 from 5 correct results from the predictions. And I reckon I'm smoking Rob T as per usual.
I'll do you a deal. If you can get it in a screenshot and upload it onto the bottom there, I will. Because I've got a terrible habit whenever I go on X, when I'm live on stream, I show something that I shouldn't, like someone's conversation or something.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay, so West Ham 3, Sunderland 1. Goals from Somerville. Bowen was a penalty, wasn't it? And Fernandez, Scarles, Bowen, and Tati with the assists. Goal from Brody from Sunderland, assist from Ukulele. Bonus points for Bowen 3, Fernandez 2, Somerville and Brody, they're sharing 1 bonus point. And defensive contributions for Siddiqui, Ballard. That's it, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's the Bowen show, isn't it? What? I mean, yeah, you're an owner. Why do you think a lot of the content creators very rarely hear talked about Bowen, although he's like the second or third highest scoring forward in the game, isn't he?
I think the reason potentially is because of the price point. So Bowen's 7.6 mil, which is not cheap. It's not expensive, but it's in that weird spot. And forwards this season, like what's he up to now? I'm going to bring that up while I'm talking about him. But essentially, he's got, what's he got? Let's have a look. He's got 102 points for the season. So he's cracked the 100-point barrier now. And like he's playing for West Ham, who are 18th. And I reckon that's got probably a large part to do with it. But the dude's consistently returned. Like historically, he's great. And I actually think like lots of people, like all the other content creators disagree with my thoughts on this, but they all reckon because Bowen's a forward this season, he's a worse asset because of the fact that he gets 1 point less for a goal and 1 point less for a clean sheet. Well, West Ham barely kept clean sheets last year, and they've kept one this season. So like he's not losing out in the clean sheet points. and the problem was last year when Jarrett Bowen used to score, because the way he plays, he's not as creative as a Bruno Fernandes. Like if he returns, and he does return a lot, he doesn't normally get in the bonus. But because he's a forward now, when he scores, instead of getting the 5 points he gets as a midfielder, he's literally getting 7 points. He scores and he's getting 3 bonus as soon as he scored, because of the way that the goals award bonus points for the attacker when they score a goal that's not a penalty. So like people say that he's a worse asset as a forward. I disagree. I actually think he's better. And like the proof's in the pudding. He's over 100 points, third top scoring forward in the game.
Am I right in thinking Paqueta might be moving on? So he's possibly permanently on penalties? Which is another big string to his bow, isn't it?
Well, I don't buy players because they're on penalties. The only player I've actually bought ever because they're on penalties was Bruno. Because like Bruno's just an elite player anyway, like, and penalties was just like the ice on the cake. I feel like you can't go into a game and expect a penalty. Like that's not a good way of watching football at all. Like if you join a game and you're going, I'm hoping for a penalty. Like last week, for example, Dominik Szoboszlai owners literally bought him because they thought he was on penalties. You get the penalty, it doesn't mean you're going to score. It could be either 5 points or -2 for a penalty if you miss?
Yeah, might miss, yeah. And it's already that he's actually returned the week that he's back off penalties. It's probably a lot of people might have got rid of him this week because of that.
Mad.
Anything else you thought about this game? I mean, Sunderland, I wasn't expecting a 3-1 loss to West Ham. I mean, you've got Mukele, haven't you? Any worries with their defense?
I looked at Mukele and like people were asking, like I put up on X earlier in the week, like my team. I was like, what would you change? Like, have I got the benching wrong? And like so many people are like, bench Bowen, play Mukele. I was like, if this is one of those fixtures, if it was Sunderland versus West Ham at the Stadium of Light, I would have benched Bowen and played Mukele. But because it was away, I played Bowen and benched Mukele. And I reckon I got that one pretty right in the end.
Yeah. Fair play. All right. Was it Andy Martin who brought in Fernandes of West Ham? I saw Nightmare put something in the chat about that earlier on.
He should have had 2. He should have had a brace, Gary. He should have been on a 15-pointer. Really? Like his first goal, what a banger. I mean, he was so unlucky in the second half. He hits a ball just as good as he did in the first. It crashes in off the crossbar. I don't know how it didn't go in. It was a miracle it didn't go in. I mean, like, Sunderland were poor. Like, and they are the classic example of a team that's way better at home and nowhere near as good away. Like, I feel like the aberration when they beat Chelsea away from home is definitely an aberration. If you look at their away form now, take out the Chelsea result, Sunderland away from home, team to target. Yeah,
I think we've got to start looking at that. So probably the biggest team to target in the league with a bit of an upset, you've got to say today. Burnley 2, Spurs 2. Goals from Burnley from, how do I say that name? There is former Man United defender.
Twanzebe,
that sounds good to me. And Foster with the goals, an assist for Walker. So this is quite funny because, me and Andrew do that captaincy game. I captained Romero, and earlier on, Nightmare was on at me about, why on earth did you persuade me to captain Romero? And obviously it was my differential as well. So Romero and Van der Ven with the goals, an assist for Odegaard. Dubravka doing very well with max bonus, 9. Sorry, how many would that be? 3 save points as well. He's on max bonus. No, sorry, Odegaard's on max bonus. Then Romero 2, and then Dubravka with 1. Defensive contributions for Florentino, my old mate Esteve, and no, Anthony's a midfielder, isn't he? Ugo Chakawugu, if he's a midfielder.
Yeah, he's a midfielder.
Bissouma and Simons. Yeah, I mean, do you think this is the end? I heard you saying on your live stream, you think this might be the end of the road for Thomas Frank?
To be honest, I the Spurs were unlucky in this game. They were unlucky. I mean, Solanke gets a chance, Gary, from like inside the 6-yard box. He's a crap striker. How Bournemouth, I think, made £52 million out of Dominik Szoboszlai. They made out with murder because he's not worth 10 mil. He was rubbish. But Spurs getting saved by their defense. Like Romero and Van de Vet, you know what they need to do to get up the league? They need to just bin off. They need to change positions. They need to put Dominik Szoboszlai and the Koala Bear center defense and play Mickey Van der Ven and Romero up top because they know how to score.
How many goals has he scored this? I mean, they've got quite a few.
I think that's his 4th goal. Hold on, bring it up. Let's have a look.
He's a lovely player to watch, isn't he, as well? The way he's sort of like, he didn't usually get tap-ins either, does he? That
was a great finish. That finish, like, to be fair, it was an elite finish from Van der Ven. Like, it wasn't like a header or anything. It just fell to him, and he hit it first time, and it was perfect. He scored 4 goals now. He's the top scoring defender in the game. I mean, Spurs aren't going to keep clean sheets, which is the problem, but he's scoring goals, and he does it pretty regularly as well. 4 goals in 23 game weeks is pretty good for a defender.
Yeah. Do you reckon Thomas Frank will survive?
I don't know, Gary. I mean, the performance wasn't bad. Like, Burnley didn't... the fact that Burnley were in front at one point, I feel sorry for Frank. The performance was good. Spurs played well. Unfortunately, they can't defend. They're a bit like, I've been saying like Man United, et cetera, because they can't keep clean sheets. West Ham, et cetera. They can't keep clean sheets. That's half the issue. And their forwards are doing nothing. Like Koala Bear, nothing. Dominik Szoboszlai, nothing. Xavi Simons, nothing. Gallagher, nothing. They're relying on the defenders too much. And that will only get you probably bottom half of the league. So they need an elite forward, and unfortunately, they've got a pile of crap stinking up the gaff.
Yeah, it's not really much to talk about from an FPL perspective, is it? I don't think you're going near. Well, to be fair, I'm probably going to play Dubravka for the next 3 game weeks because Kelleher's got really difficult fixtures. So I think Burnley got 3 decent ones.
Oh, they got Sunderland next week.
They got Sunderland, West Ham, Crystal Palace.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So Brentford have got Aston Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal. So
I'd actually play Kelleher next week. I'd play Kelleher instead of Dubravka next week.
Would you? Okay.
Aston Villa aren't scoring a lot of goals, Gary. Like they're not scoring a lot of goals. And like Dubravka realistically is not going to keep a clean sheet, I don't think, against Sunderland away. Like Sunderland,
no, probably not.
So I feel like Kelleher might get 8 points.
Maybe, yeah. I think like the predictions have gotten pretty much, the identical almost. Can we move on to Max? We were both very happy about, but for very different reasons. Fulham 2, Brighton 1. Goals for your main man, Wilson and Chukwueze. Assists for my main man, Joachim Anderson and King. Also, a goal for Ayari from Brighton, an assist from an Italian bloke, I'm going to say Busacali. Bonus points, 3 for Wilson, 2 for Ayari. I thought he had 2. For Anderson, 1. Defensive contributions for Cuenca, Anderson, Castagna, Ayari, Belba, Gomez, and Dunk. So yeah, very different feelings to us here, mate. I mean, to be fair, I only had 2 players play today. One of them was they're your 2 favourite players of the season to back into my team, aren't they? And they are the 2 players that have come into me today for Anderson and Szoboszlai. I mean, I do admit, I do slightly regret. I sold. Who did I sell last night? Who did I have that was injured? Tavernier. And I bought in Anderson, and I bought him in because I had to save some money for Fernandes, but I do think I could have afforded Wilson. I couldn't get like in Dyer or anyone like that and still afford it. But I could have gone for Wilson. But every time I listen to any content creator, they're like, oh, they're bringing in, who is it? Oscar Bob. He's going to play in a different position. They don't like it. But he's your man, isn't he?
Gary, there's an issue with the other content creators. The reason why is that he's not on the projections, right? Like analytics don't love him. Like
he's not that high, no.
Yeah, like he's not high. Why? Because he plays for Fulham. He's got no penalties. He only takes a few set pieces. He's not like, well, he might take more after today, let's be fair. But like realistically, I don't know why they don't like him. Like he's been banging in. Like I did the comparison on from game week 10 till today between Dirty 2-point Dom and Wilson, and it's 91 points to 30. That's 61 points, Gary. Like that's triple his points. Like Wilson's been that good over the last 12 weeks. And like, obviously he's lost out by 3 points today because he got 10 and Dirty Dom's got 13. But like, if you remove before today, 91 points to 30. Like, and no one's talking about him. Like I'm the only one that's saying, and like, if you look at the fixtures for Fulham, like they're elite, like for an attacking perspective. So Wilson the next, until game week 32, when I'm going to wildcard, it's Man United away, Everton at home, Man City away, Sunderland away, Tottenham at home, West Ham at home, Forest away, Burnley at home. Like the fixtures from an attacking perspective are brilliant, like across the board. So like he's he's 6 million now, but like I was going to say before today, he was less than 6. He's like by far and away the best midfielder under 6 million. Like
people should go for him, you reckon?
Well, he's up to 20% ownership now, I think. Maybe even more.
Is he? It's the models.
23% ownership.
It's the models and the content creator followers like myself who are ignoring him. Then obviously the general public, But that's true. But the general public do generally bring people in that are scoring, don't they?
And like he's banging forward. He's like he should have an assist today as well. Like, Raul Jimenez should have scored in the first half. Like Wilson played an amazing ball, and Raul Jimenez just cocked up the chance. There's no other way to describe it. He just cocked it up. Otherwise, he would have been on for a 14-pointer, which is just ridiculous. I mean, he's just been great.
Are you finally going to admit that Joachim Andersen is an FPL legend, Darius?
It was a good assist. That ball, Gary, was amazing. He hit a 50. He's hit a 50-yarder. Like I don't know if he like deliberately did it or if he was just clearing the ball. Either way, that was an elite assist. There was some amazing assists today, like Joachim Andersen, Kyle Walker with the assist for the goal in the first half.
Like a Franz Beckenbauer.
Yeah, Bowen with amazing assist in the first half in that West Ham game. Like some of the balls whipped in today, top tier. Like where has that been? Where's the creativity been? It was nice to see more goals this week. It's nice to see goals.
I was hearing you say earlier on in your live stream that you think this has been one of the worst seasons. I was talking to Steve the other week, and he was saying, like it's so tactical. Do you know what I mean? The football that there's so little individuality on display. Moments like that you really want to see, aren't there?
Well, yeah. All you have to do is look at Arsenal, right? So Arsenal are winning the league at the moment, and if you watch Arsenal, and I'm intrigued. If you're an Arsenal fan in the chat, let us know if I'm barking mad. I feel like you're happy because you're winning and you're top of the league. I dare say you're probably not overly happy with the style of football because, like, when you watch Arsenal, you kind of know what they're going to do. They're going to play the ball forward. They're going to look for the set piece, the corner, the free kick. They've got elite set piece takers like Declan Rice. Unbelievable delivery into the box. Saka on the other side, pretty good delivery into the box. And like when you got Gabriel in your team, you know that if you've got good set piece delivery, you're going to score goals. Like the dude's really good off set pieces. So I feel like a lot of teams are doing that. Like even today, you watch the Liverpool Bournemouth game. How many bloody long throws did I see into the box? It's like cringe. It's like the old school Division 1 football where they just get the ball up into the box and hope that someone does something. That's what it feels like this season.
It was a Stoke player that used to have the really long throw.
Rory Delap.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, Wilson and Anderson, good FPL picks, I'm going to say, for different reasons. All right, so let's get on to, obviously, the game that we've already talked about if you're watching live. We already talked about the leagues earlier on, but Man City 2, Wolves 0, Semenyo and Marmoush with the goals, Nunes and Bernardo with assists, Nunes 3 bonus points, Marmoush and Donnarumma sharing 2, it looks like, according to this. And then defensive contributions for Gomez and Andre. If Andre is a defender, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, what was the actual game like? I mean, I know the one thing Trig did text me is as soon as Semenyo scored, he was like, game week over. And I didn't realise what his ownership is. It's still pretty high, isn't it? But yeah, what are your thoughts on this one, mate?
Yeah, his ownership's almost 50%. It's like 46.7%. It's going to rise to 50 today, probably. Yeah, well, it makes sense when you think about it, right? So, like, originally, when he first got brought in, like every other content creator was like, oh, he's a sell because he's at Man City. He's not going to have the same minutes. And I was like, when I watched the Exeter game, I was like, he just played 90 minutes against Exeter. I reckon he's going to play 90 minutes most weeks. And then I thought about it. I was like, you've just spent £62.5 million on a player to bench him. I don't think so. I feel like he's going to play. He's in a hot run of form for Bournemouth. Why on earth would he be benched? Yeah. So I feel like that was always inevitable. So I wasn't concerned that he was going to. He's just a good pick. There's no other ways about it.
But Pep usually gives players a little while to settle in, doesn't he? He doesn't usually just throw them straight into the. But maybe he's got to because of the situation they're in, I guess.
I think it's because of the fact they've played in the Premier League. Like a lot of the players they've normally historically got have come from outside the Premier League. So he gives them a few games to warm up, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. This one just feels like they're good to go. Chuck them in. And to be honest, so I actually feel for Semenyo owners. Like I said this week on the deadline stream, if I owned Semenyo, I would have captained him. And I feel like if you captained him, you can consider yourself very unlucky you didn't get a 15-pointer out of him because like he hammered that ball in the second half that rattled it literally hit the combination of the crossbar and the post.
The stanchion or whatever they call it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
It could have been anything. That. He deserved a 15-pointer. Like I thought he played really well. I felt if Wolves were a better team today, though, I feel like City would have conceded in the second half. I wasn't convinced by what I saw defensively. Even with Mark Gahey in, Kushinov just looks like an average centre-back. I don't know if there's any City fans in the chat that watched the game as well, but I felt like if Wolves had a bit more about them from an attacking perspective, they would have scored in the second half.
Stanchion, that's what I was looking for. Coleman Stephen, thank you. In the chat, yeah. So let me go through some names. Semenyo is obviously, you reckon, a keep. Let me go through the other three big names and let me know if you think they're a keep or a sell. O'Reilly?
If Ake's out for a while, O'Reilly's a keep. If he's not, he's a sell.
Foden?
100% sell. And I love Phil Foden. Everyone knows I love Phil Foden. I sold him. I did not even hesitate. Last Saturday night during the lock-in, first thing I did, get rid of that fraud. He's not in form.
And the big one, Haaland. Apparently, I think Nightmare said that I think Baker of above average sold him and bought someone, I can't remember who he bought in, to bring in Salah. So there are some people who've already done it. But, I mean, I'm going to keep Haaland because he's not going to get rested again, is he, Darius?
Looking at the fixtures, I'd say no. Like, I'd be shocked if he got rested again. If I look at him, like, you've got Spurs away, Liverpool away. He's not going to get rested, either of them. You wouldn't have thought. Fulham at home, potentially, but then it's Newcastle at home, Leeds away, Nottingham Forest at home, and potentially game week 29 and 30. They've got Nottingham Forest at home, West Ham away. That's the next time I really believe he could be benched, potentially.
I can see you're desperate to type there because you used to be in 3 or 4 of us, aren't you? But I'm having to look.
Yeah, I'm so used to engaging with the chat. And I'm like, sorry, folks, because it's just me and Gary. I'm reading the chat, and I'm like going, I really want to reply to that.
If it's something interesting in the chat, just say it, and it's under the 2 of us. We'll do. Have a chat. Can we move on to? I mean, it's the game of the day, really, isn't it? Yeah. Bournemouth 3, Liverpool 2. I didn't really see this one coming. Maybe I should have done. As a result, Evan Nilsson, Adley, and Jimenez with the goals for Bournemouth. Virgil van Dijk finally got his bullet header that everyone's been going on about. It's big. It's Big Andy from above every. Not above every. Let's Talk FPL has been saying he's going to get for ages. Assisted by the beautiful Dominik Szoboszlai, who then scored a screamer himself. Assists to Hill, Scott, and then Salah and Szoboszlai. Bonus points is Szoboszlai 3, Adley 2, and Evan Nilsson 1. Defensive contributions for Cook, Adley, Senesi, Truffer, and Hill. Is Hill if he is a defender? Yeah, this sounds like it was a good game. I was watching your watch along, Darius. Pretty entertaining, although Liverpool shockingly bad again, apart from my man Deadly Dom.
Yeah, it was actually like, it's weird because like obviously I don't know any, like my player that I own obviously is Wirtz, and he didn't really do much in this game, to be honest. He didn't look bad, but like he just didn't do much. He's not on the set pieces like Szoboszlai is. So like you always, when you're on set pieces, like it's like Bruno. Like that's why Bruno's such a good pick, because he's on all the corners and he's so good at picking out heads. And like Casemiro, Maguire, et cetera, like you've always got a chance of getting an assist because they're on those, if that makes sense. And Szoboszlai's free kicks have actually been really good. Like I watched the Champions League midweek where he got the goal under the wall. He's very good on set pieces.
Does he have a decent cross from open play then?
I don't know. It's weird. Every time I see him put a ball like in open play, he doesn't look like he's going to do anything. But like on set pieces, he looks elite. Like, unfortunately, you can't be relying on that. He's a weird pick. Like, I can see why people, if I watch the games, I feel like Szoboszlai is one of those players. He's only going to deliver on a set piece. Like, I don't see him returning an open play. Like, I could be wrong. He does. He has done that previously. But when you watch Liverpool play, they're not very good this season. It's mad, the drop off. I don't know what's going on there. Like Slot looks like he's lost the plot, to be honest. I mean, Bournemouth today, that game, the last 15 minutes when it went to 2-2, it could have gone either way. Like Liverpool could have won it. Bournemouth could have won it. It was a very entertaining game to watch. And I said all night during the 3 p.m. games, the game I'm looking forward to the most is Bournemouth-Liverpool. Not because of Virgil's shoulder bullet header, bullet shoulder, or dirty point, 13-point dom, but because of the fact I thought Bournemouth like to attack, Liverpool can't defend, Liverpool will need to attack, and it's going to be a high-scoring game. And it was a high-scoring game. 3-2, I mean, what a way to win it. Literally the last kick of the game. When Raw was getting his brace for the D-Unit South Park, old mate Adley was getting the winner for Bournemouth. Epic.
So from an FPL perspective, right, there's going to be a narrative coming up. May only be a beginnings of a narrative this week that if people are getting rid of Haaland, maybe they put that money towards Salah. Did he do anything on his return to inspire us to consider that?
See, Salah's on the corners from the left-hand side. So I feel like Dirty Dom was taking all the corners prior to Salah coming back. So Salah takes them on the right, the same side as Saka takes them for Arsenal, and Dirty Dom takes them from the other side, which is where Rice takes them from for Arsenal. So I noticed that. I thought that was interesting. Salah obviously got the assist because he tapped the ball for Szoboszlai to hit it on the free kick. Outside of that, he got into some decent positions without looking like he was going to. In the first half, he had a chance where he should have ran into goal and had a shot. Instead, he tried to cross it into the box for, I think it was Gakpo that was playing up there alongside him at the time. That was a poor decision. He should have just gone for goal. That was the opportunity to go straight at goal, and I don't know why he didn't. There wasn't enough there tonight, and from Liverpool in general, to suggest to me he's worth anywhere near 14 million. Like, that's a lot of money. And like when you look at it, I understand that Haaland's been an absolute flop of late, and he cost 15.1 million. Salah's 14. Like, maybe you want to take a gamble if you're chasing rank, whatever. But at the end of the day, Haaland is still clearly the best forward in the game. Salah is nowhere near the best midfielder in the game. So like, if you're selling Haaland, the best forward, for someone arguably that's not even in the top 20 midfielders, it seems a little naive.
If you were going to buy one out of Saka, Palmer and Salah, what order would you put them in?
That's
Palmer obviously was his great fixtures coming up. Saka's got the double game week.
Trig scared me off Palmer. Like I was already scared off Palmer anyway.
Yeah,
but like Palmer has only really been returning because of penalties. He's not really been doing a hell of a lot outside of that. He's barely created any chances. Like he's bizarre. He looks like he's playing with a groin injury. He literally looks like he's injured, and yet he's still playing. I reckon if this wasn't a World Cup year, he would have had surgery, he'd be out till the end of the season. I'm pretty convinced by that. I feel like I remember a couple of seasons ago when Rashford. No, actually, it was quite a few seasons ago. Rashford needed an operation. It was a World Cup year. He wanted to go to the World Cup. He was average. He ended up going to the World Cup, did nothing there, came back, had the surgery, was out for like 4 or 5 months in the next season. I feel like that's Cole Palmer. I reckon he's limping through, hoping Tuchel picks him. He's going to go to the World Cup and he'll be out for the first half of next season. Like I actually believe that's what's going to happen because I reckon he's cooked. I reckon there's a problem there that is affecting his ability to affect games.
I remember that happening with like Owen and Rooney and stuff like that in the past. I don't know if that's the names you mentioned there. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? They put so much into it, don't they? But
it's like Luke Shaw. Shows up in a World Cup year, doesn't show up any other time.
Yeah, I mean, Croupier Jr., did he start? How did he look? Because he's been in a lot
he
of
did. He did start. I actually thought that I thought that he was Croupier Jr. is 4.6 million, right? I said like during my watch along, I was like, I have no intention of selling any of my 3 forwards because I've got the 3 best in the game. They've scored the most points this season. Haaland, Bowen, Thiago. I feel like Trig has mentioned this about like team value. I've been pretty hot on it. A lot of people are not hot on it. The difference between my team and Trig's and yours at the moment is you have to have a Mark Gui or a Croupier Jr. I've got a Jared Bowen. That's the difference. And like, I have way more confidence in playing Jared Bowen in easy fixtures than what you probably would. Well, Mark Gui, you're not going to play anyway. But if you had Croupier Jr., you wouldn't have the same confidence, I think, as Jared Bowen.
Who's your cheapest attacker? Well, we can have a look in a minute, but
Thiago. Thiago's the cheapest.
Oh, really? Yeah, you got a lot of money then. That's why you keep getting so many points on your bloody bench. It's got bench every week.
I would have worked this week. If they hadn't bloody brought Haaland on for what was a pointless run out, I would have got the points off the bench because my bench is stacked. Is what it is.
I mean, it's really weird with Haaland bench because if you'd have benched him, he probably would have come off and got like a brace or something. And if you don't bench him, he's going to come on and get 1 point. It's just like sort of. Any other thoughts you had on any of the games, Darius, before we move on to have a look at our teams?
I think I'm going to get burnt by captaincy. At the start of the week, I had Wilson captain and Tarkowski vice. And
you got Tarkowski, yeah.
Yeah, 2 days ago, I changed it to Tarkowski because I was like, he's going to get a guaranteed 4 points against Leeds. And he probably will get a guaranteed 4 points against Leeds. But like, Harry Wilson's just got 10 points. So Tarkowski needs to keep a clean sheet, get the DC, and get bonus, or he needs to score a goal and keep a clean sheet. So like, now I'm like, should have just done Harry bloody Wilson as captain. But I've still got his points on the field, so that feels all right.
Okay, let's move on to have a look at our teams. So top of the pile this week is Darius. I think we'll save Kanji's team to last, just in case hopefully he will be joining us. So Darius is on 25 points. He continues to claw up towards 4th. Now he's nightmares at the bottom there. Although he's still 40 points behind Roberto in 4th. So you are 1.4 million still. Sanchez, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Chalobah still to play. Verts 2, Fernandez and Rice still to play. Wilson, your vice with 10. Bowen 12, Thiago still to play. Haaland 1, and then you've got O'Reilly 6 and Mukalele on the bench. But yeah, talk us through it, mate. Any early thoughts? I mean, it's strange. It almost feels like, even though it was a very emotional day, the game week hasn't even really started yet. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so much football to come tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, Neil just raised a really good point. That game where the ref got sent to the VAR monitor, but I don't know why VAR intervened. Like, go back and watch a replay of this. It'll be in the highlights on the match of the day or whatever. But Marmoush gets the ball in the box, right? And I think it's Mascara from Wolves. He's literally going there, and he's literally a meter away, Gary. Like, literally the distance between, like, whatever. Marmoush is, like, just tapped it up, and it's gone into Mascara's arm. Like, and VAR said that was an error. They asked the ref to go. He didn't give anything. He just allowed play to go on. They sent him to the monitor for it. And I was like, that hasn't been a penalty all season long. I was like, I reckon whoever's in the VAR monitors got like Marmoush in their team and they wanted a mega haul. That's all I could put it down to, because it made no sense why they sent him there. And the ref went to the monitor. And we know normally when the ref goes to the monitor, it's like VAR, like, you made an error. You've got to change your mind. But thankfully, the ref stood firm and actually decided that he was correct and said, no, VAR are full of shit, which was great to see. We don't see enough of it. I feel like quite often we see VAR, they intervene. Really, it's meant to be a high threshold. That was definitely not a high threshold. I don't know why they ever sent him to the monitor. And it was good to see the ref stand up for the fact that, you know, he thought he made a correct decision. I agreed he made a correct decision. And VAR, sometimes you just got to wonder about it. Like, literally.
Did you see that?
It's a game.
Did you see that video I sent in the group chat yesterday about VAR? It's just, I can't remember the guy's name now, but for anyone watch, maybe I'll put it on X. It's just this guy, they're pretending like the greatest VAR decisions ever. Like, they're like getting excited about it, like it was a great goal. It's really fun. So yeah, you're pretty happy with it.
You see a goal and you're like going, I think, oh, what was it? Like, some goals you sit there and you watch it and you go, oh, what a goal. And the next thing you know, VAR check, and you're like, oh, fuck off. like it ruins the game. Like, quite often the time, it's like I think on one of the, was it a Bournemouth goal? A Bournemouth goal today, they scored, no, and it looked offside. Like last week, I thought the goal that Mason Mount scored for Man United was a good goal. I still didn't see any lines that said that Cunha was offside by any distance at all. Today, they show, mate, this was ridiculous. So apparently, about this much of Virgil van Dijk's shirt, I reckon, was offside. It was that's just stupid. I can't get on board with that. I just think that that's ridiculous. And it wasted 5 minutes of the game. They chalked the goal off. No, they gave the goal in the end. But, like, you just sit there and go, that's not football. I remember football where you sit there and you used to just cop the shit calls. Like, ball's not going over the line, whatever. It is what it is. I feel like now it's just like, it's just annoying.
If I was a young person growing up now, you know, as in watching football for the first time, I think I'd be much less likely to get into it. Because, you know, we, you know, obviously grew up without it. But every time is a goal, every time you want to celebrate that special moment for your, you know, your hero or whatever, it's like, oh, right, well, 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And then even when the goal's given, it's like you've lost the moment. Do you know what I mean? You've lost the moment. So, yeah.
Nah, it's mad. Because I remember my first game in the Premier League when I went to watch, it was it was Man United versus Watford. Very first game at Old Trafford. I think it was Bruno Fernandes's second or third game at the club. And they went 1-0 up. And then Watford scored a goal, Gary. And for all intents and purposes, it looked like a good goal. And then all of a sudden, and like the stadium goes flat, right? Stadium goes flat. Momentum completely lost. Watford in the ascendancy. All of a sudden on the big screen, you see VAR checking. And you're like, could it be ruled out? And like, it's really good when it goes your way, right? Like, you've got to celebrate it. And like, I feel like Watford at that moment, I don't know why it was ruled out. It looked pretty fair to me. I think there was a foul or whatever it was. Maybe someone can tell me if they watch that game and they remember the game. But like, Watford had the goal ruled out for VAR. And all of a sudden it was like, we scored a goal. Actually, we'd done nothing. Yeah. VAR had just rescued us. And then Man United went on to win 3-0. But like, if VAR hadn't been there and like it looked like a perfectly good goal, we might not have won the game so easily. But like the whole momentum changed based on that call.
Yeah. Anyway, Des, any early thoughts, mate, in terms of your team?
Yeah, so in terms of my team for next week, the plan is, originally I was going to sell O'Reilly for Timber and play a back five next week. So I was going to play Tarkowski, Gabriel, Chalobah, Mukiele, and Jurriën Timber in a back five and then just work out the rest. Having said that, though, after today, I feel like I might sell Wirtz for Semenyo, which is just a really boring move. I'm aware of that, but I've watched enough of City the last few weeks that Semenyo is the only good thing about him at the moment, and I think that I know his ownership's stupidly high. I'm getting nothing out of it. It's really, as Trig would say, it's a defensive move. But I just think if anyone at City is going to return over the next 6 to 7 weeks, it's probably him. And I think.
Do you not think he's going to be rotated at all?
Well, he can't play in the Champions League midweek, Gary, so he's not going to get a rest midweek.
Good point, yeah.
I feel like he's going to be fine. And like, I am. Like, that's why I didn't buy him originally this week. That's why I bought Bruno Fernandes instead of Semenyo this week, because I was like, originally I thought that. And like, if it wasn't for today, and I watched the game today, I was like, I don't think Semenyo is going to be not playing too much. Like, he was one of City's better players, I thought, across the game. I am aware, like, if I sell, like, originally I was just going to sell O'Reilly tonight to Timber. And now I like watch that game tonight. I'm like, oh, maybe O'Reilly's going to be back at left back. I don't know. You never know with Pep. And logically, I think that I also weighed up moving O'Reilly to Gahey, because I think Gahey's 100% lock in the team, and I reckon it'll be sweet for the short and the medium and the long term.
Are you going to want that third asset in Arsenal asset in for the double potential?
Well, yeah, that's why I was going to bring Timber in for O'Reilly, because like that was my 3 Arsenal, right? Locked in, game week 26. Here we go. And then other people are like, oh, you need, like, I've already got double Chelsea defense. I've actually got no interest in buying a Chelsea attacker. Like, I just don't know which one's going to start from week to week. Outside of Caicedo, I actually don't rate any of them. Like, at least you know with him, it's very boring, but we're in the DC world. I feel like Caicedo's going to get 4 points almost every week. The rest, you don't know if they're going to start. You don't know if they're going to do anything. And I don't think Palmer's worth the money. Like 10.4 million for what? Like a bloke that has half a groin, that's pretty much in the massage parlor with Trig tonight. Like, you can't be going there.
Okay, shall we move on to my team? So I am actually second, along with Candy's on a -4, but we'll save Candy's team till he hopefully comes. So I'm on 125, which is literally a grey arrow, because I was on 125k at the start. Kelleher's still to play. Most of my team still to play, really. Gabriel, Timber, Hall still to play. Anderson with 8. Joachim Anderson. Elliot Anderson, Enzo still to play. Szoboszlai 13. Saka, Thiago, captain still to play. Haaland 1. Yeah, I mean, I feel a bit lucky, to be honest with you, Darius, because, you know, after I was scrambling this morning to try and deal with those bits of news, you know, it could have gone so differently, you know, if Haaland had returned. Haaland coming on is massive for those of us who did react to the leak, because otherwise a lot of people would have got their vices on. Do you know what I mean? Well, we'll have a look at Nightmare's team in a minute. So, yeah, I do feel pretty lucky. I mean, Anderson and Szoboszlai, thank God they finally come in with some points. But yeah, I mean, I feel very positive though. 8 players still to play, but I don't really class Haaland because everyone owns him. Yeah, I mean, slight regret I didn't get in Wilson instead of Anderson, but would I've really considered Wilson? Probably not really. And the next week it's got to be. So obviously I've got Foden, Lacroix, and Gui on the bench. It's got to be Foden to Bruno, isn't it? Darius, I mean, I've got like two odd million in the bank, so
one transfer.
Yeah, one transfer.
So a clear move next week, isn't it? You don't have to think about that one.
Yeah, it's
the easiest transfer, and do it tonight. Foden's dropping tonight, so just do it. There's no.
You know me, I don't do. We see you right. So you said
he never gets injured, Gary. Like Bruno never gets injured. Like never.
What do you mean he never gets injured? He just came back from a month out.
Once in the blue moon.
But he's getting older. But say, for example, last week, if I had done that move after because you know Trig did that move after we finished the lock-in last week, I would have not then been able to get rid of Tavernier, who got injured on the Monday. You know what I mean? You just don't know what's going to happen.
You could just take it a -4. It probably would have worked out for you this week because like you got Szoboszlai's 13, Anderson's 8. You would have been sweet.
It might have done. We've got half the game still to play. It's just not my style. As I said on the podcast this week, I think you've got to play one way or the other. You either play the aggressive play like you do, and you take advantage of, as you do, the price rises, the team value, or you leave it late like me and you take advantage of the additional information. If you start trying to mix them together, you know what I mean? You're going to get unstuck. That's how I feel about it anyway. Okay, let's have a look. Trig's teams. Trig is on 11. He is 207k. Sanchez, Gabriel, Tarkowski still to play. Virgil on 7. Anderson still to play. Cherky 3. Fernandez, Saka, Rice still to play. Haaland on 1, and Thiago captain. He's not in that bad position, really, is he?
Why didn't
he's only had 3. I don't know. I mean, he's benched Anderson, which I understand. He's probably frustrated about that.
Has he seen my team every week? I bench points every single week.
I know. But he's got Haaland playing literally means nothing, does it? Because actually him blanking helps you if you started him because he's on 108% ownership. Kirky's got 3, whatever. And Virgil's on 7, which is probably the best he's done in ages. So I think Trig's in quite a decent position here. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, he's got one extra player to play than me. Yeah, I don't know why he's stressing. I feel like sometimes the game week can be misleading, right? Like today, on average, I look at my team, I'm like going, everyone's got bloody Haaland, so that's neither here nor there. I've got Wilson. A lot of people have got like Szoboszlai or Semenyo. Wilson's on average about the same. And I've had Bowen, which is definitely the smoking gun because no one's going to have a forward that scores 12 points this week, but I've got Bowen. So that feels nice. That feels like a really nice differential up front. And I feel like that's where my games are going to be this week because of the fact I've got the Bowen score and others don't. But like FPL's like this, like Saturday might look amazing. Like tonight might look crap. Like for a lot of people out there, if you're in the chat and you're on like, you've had 5 players play, 6 players play, you haven't had your captain play and you're on 10 points, I wouldn't be stressing. Like tomorrow, one of your players might pop off and get a brace and all of a sudden your game week is back. Like it can turn on a VAR call. It can turn on a lucky roll of the bounce.
I mean, we obviously
roll with it.
No, exactly. We do these every week, and on Saturday, I mean, you've been banging it into me for I think I've had one decent Saturday out of the last 5, but usually by the end of the game week, I'm on a grey or green arrow. Do you know what I mean? It switches around so quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah,
but,
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
Today's one of them games. I'm like going, yes, a lot of popular assets scored. Like, Van de Ven scored, Romero scored, Semenyo scored, Gahey kept a clean sheet, O'Reilly kept a clean sheet, Nunes kept a clean sheet. Like a lot of popular assets have returned tonight, but I feel like most people have at least one of them. So like it shouldn't be horrendous, hopefully, unless you press the triple captain on Haaland, and then it probably is horrendous and you probably want to delete your team. But other than that, it shouldn't be too bad. Even if you captain Haaland, like there's no guarantee. A lot of people did captain Semenyo that went there, but a lot of people captain Ekitike, got the exact same points as Haaland captain is. So yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned if you're in that boat. And like it does happen. Like you can. I've captained Cunha twice this season for 1 point. Like, but I show up on the Saturday. Like you just got to sit there. Sometimes it'll go your way. Sometimes it doesn't. You just got to keep going.
Should we move on to someone? Should we have a look at someone who wasn't aware of the information and did captain Haaland FPL Nightmare, who's just on 3 points, although he's only had 2 players play, so 1.8 million. Henderson 4-3-3. Henderson, Timber, Gabriel still to play, as well as Hall and Tarkowski, Garner, Fernandez, Rice in midfield still to play. Haaland captain with 2, Thiago still to play, Ekitike with 1. So, I mean, this is a good example of it. Obviously, he's had very bad luck in terms of Haaland and Ekitike not even starting, but he's still got 9 players, hasn't he?
Yeah. Who's on his bench?
And his bench is Bruno G, Mikelele 4, and then Longstaff.
Dubravka 5. I mean, Dubravka played a blinder. Like how Spurs didn't win that game, Dubravka. Like this is why I don't like the BPS system. Because Dubravka in that game, anyone that watched that game, Dubravka, clear man of the match. Like he made so many saves, he should be on the 3 bonus. Like if bonus points related to actual performance in the game, Dubravka wins the 3 bonus in that game comfortably. Like he was definitely the player of the match. I'd be shocked if he didn't win player of the match in that game. He was elite in terms of keeping Tottenham from winning the game. But like, yeah, I feel like I look at Nightmare's team and he's got Bruno G on the bench, right? He's got no Aston Villa assets. And I understand that Bruno G's obviously got the ankle problem. He might not play. I just feel like, I don't know, like Bruno Fernandes against double Arsenal defense doesn't feel like, I know he brought Bruno in this week as well, but like that doesn't feel optimal, like playing Bruno against double Arsenal defense, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, go on.
I think his team's fine, but I just think that I look at that and I'm like going, if that was your move this week to bring in Bruno to play against Gabriel and Timber, I think I would have played Mukiele instead of Bruno and just played a 5-2-3.
I just didn't fancy that move this week. I know you and Trig were, encouraging me to do it all week, but it was just, maybe I would have done it if I didn't have the Tarkowski injury. But for me, you always take out your weakest link and bring in someone stronger. And to me, even though he was benched, I mean, if we knew he was benched, fair enough, go to Foden, to Fernandes. If we didn't know he was benched, to me, it just didn't make sense to bring Fernandes in away against Arsenal. But I mean, it's unlucky, and it just shows the frustrations that can happen from the leaks, didn't it, Dennis?
Well, I did warn him, Gary. I was hot on him. I was hot in the chat. You read the chat. I was telling Nightmare Haaland's bench this week. I was adamant about it.
You're going on about it on your videos all week.
Yeah, and I was adamant in that chat, and Nightmare was like saying, no, he's not going to get benched. I was like, he is. I just know that part of me just knew that he was getting benched this week.
The D-Unit called it. What did I tell you? I told you. I called it. I called it a long time ago, but the D-Unit called it, and that's all you need to know.
Okay. Should we move on and have a look at Roberto's team? So Roberto's on 13. We never know what we're going to get when we see Roberto's team.
Gary, read that out. I'm going to do the old Gary cliche, folks. I'm going to go, part of me knows.
I'm desperate too, but I'm like, there's only one person on the stream, 2 people on the streams. I can't really. So Roberto is he's up to, actually, I think he's down to 570k. So he's got Pickford in goal, who anyone who watched a few weeks ago, he said he'd prefer Raya over Pickford, although he actually has Pickford in his team. Robinson with 1, Collins, Timber still to play, Wilson 10, Gordon still to play, Foden still to play, Neto still to play, Thiago captain, interesting, Watkins still to play, and Haaland 1. I mean, you guys told me in the chat who you captain. I mean, because there was quite a few. I saw Darius was saying that once the leaks had come out, basically everyone went to Saka captain because it was an FPL review. Solio's suggestion was to go to Saka captain. To me, it was Thiago, and I think a lot of people did go to Thiago just because of how, well, Forest being tired from midweek, Thiago's being on great form. I mean, I personally think that's going to be potentially one of the biggest calls of the game week. Just talking, Darius, about Saka versus Thiago, because you were saying a lot of people captain Saka. I really fancy Thiago to outscore him based on recent form. Do you know what I mean?
I'd agree. I think I'm shocked. Like, Saka was, you use FPL review, Gary, so you can answer this more than me because I've got no idea. I just listen to you lot in regards to that. But Saka was apparently the second highest on projections behind Haaland.
Yeah. It wanted me. He was vice captain. Yeah.
Why? Like, I don't understand. Like, Saka's minutes have been he probably does start. Like, let's be fair, he probably starts this game.
That's why. I mean, I know you say that I use FPL review a lot, and I do. But sometimes you do just have to ignore it, because I just don't trust 100% that he's going to start. And even if he does, what's he done this season? Do you know what I mean? Whereas Thiago has been fantastic. I know he did get benched a couple of times over Christmas, but
you don't have Rice, do you? No, you've got Gabriel and Timber.
No.
You've got Gabriel, Timber, and Saka. That's right. I feel like if I had Rice, well, I've got Rice. I was tempted by a Rice captaincy. If I had Saka, I had no interest. And the funny thing is, so like you obviously watched Let's Talk FPL's deadline stream. They bought in Bruno Fernandes, right, for Phil Foden. I'm assuming he started him. He started Bruno.
I'm trying to remember what moves he did now. Yeah, he did Bruno in.
He would have started. There's no way he benching Bruno.
I think I was panicking so much about my own transfers. I can't honestly remember, mate. But yeah, he probably did. Yeah.
But like in my head, I'm like going, Andy loves Bruno, right? Like he's got a love obsession with Bruno, probably more than I've got a love obsession with Bruno. And I love Man United, but I don't understand why you would buy Bruno Fernandes and he plays against Saka, and Bruno Fernandes, is going to play 90 minutes, is on all the set pieces, and literally, if Man United score a goal, he is going to be 100% involved, and you don't captain him, but yet you captain Saka, who has not been involved with all the Arsenal goals, nowhere near the same percentages as Bruno Fernandes, doesn't play 90 minutes more often than not. I feel like that move, like, it's funny because lots of people came into my stream afterwards and just talked about like the chaos of it and whatever. I was like going, this is a sign of people so wedded to review like a Bible and they actually can't use their own brains to make it. I really feel like all that drama today on those streams that I've been sent it on whatever, I just feel like it's a pile of crap. Like anyone with half a decent football brain would know, if you're going to buy Bruno Fernandes and play him against Arsenal and then you captain Saka, you're an idiot. That's all I have to say. Because I feel like Bruno Fernandes will comfortably outscore Saka tomorrow. Because Saka's not going to get the DC. Like Bruno's probably going to get DC against Arsenal tomorrow. Rice will probably get it as well. What's Saka going to actually deliver? And like Gyökeres is going to start up front. So Gyökeres starts up front. Arsenal aren't scoring more than 2 goals.
I wouldn't have captained either of them.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
You don't captain a player out of form in Saka, and you don't captain a player playing away to Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me either way. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot's going to rest on Thiago captain tomorrow. Like if he comes in, it's going to be maybe I'll be back in the top 100k. So I've texted Kanji and he's not texted me back. So I think we're going to have to move on to his team now. So Kanji is on 22 minus 4. So he's on 350k, which I am guessing is maybe a small red arrow. I think he was on around there anyway. So Sanchez still to play. Anderson with 8. Gabriel still to play. Alderete 1. Hall's so popular, isn't he, in our league? Still to play. And Dyer, which I know is one of his transfers in, still to play. Szoboszlai 13. Fernandes, I'm assuming, was probably his other transfer in.
That was the other one. Bruno in.
Yeah. Yep. Saka captain. Palmer and Thiago. So, yeah, I mean, I should have said there, and Haaland bench. Obviously, Roberto must have missed out on the leaks as well. Yeah, he's doing pretty well, isn't he? He's looking with a lesser seen 4-5-1. Not seen one of those formations in a while. Yeah, he's got quite an interesting team. I mean, the two who most interest me there are Ndiaye and Palmer. I think they're both going to be talked about quite a bit over the next week. Well, then again, Ndiaye's sort of probably going to have lost the really strong fixture against Leeds this week. But yeah, any thoughts on Kanji's team, mate?
Yeah, I look at the fixtures for Everton. So it's Leeds at home this week, which is obviously the really nice one. Then it's Brighton away, Fulham away, so 2 away games there. Then it's Bournemouth at home. They love attacking away from home. Like, that's the problem. Man United at home, Newcastle away, Burnley at home in 29, and then it's Arsenal away in 30. Like, the fixtures aren't... I've got Tarkowski, and I'm like going... The reason why I've got him is because he's a 4-point merchant. But he literally gets like if you need to. I might sell Tarkowski like after this week. If he doesn't return as captain this week, I might sell him.
What are their fixtures again? Let me just get up.
Yeah, they've got Fulham. Leeds at home Monday night, Brighton away, Fulham away, Bournemouth at home, Man United at home. Yeah, like other than Burnley in 29 and like Leeds this week. I mean, the other ones you could argue, the way Everton are playing away from home, they actually might get a clean sheet the next 2 weeks. Like, I think I'll play Tarkowski against Brighton in 24 away from home. Like, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, Fulham, I reckon they maybe as well. But after that, yeah, it's pretty tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not easy fixtures. Not easy fixtures at all. But like in like this is one of them ones. Like you sit there and like I was hot against Ndai like the start of the season. Like, everyone knows I was like, he can just go and die in the grave. In fairness, with Jack Grealish out, Ndai back on the left. Yes, he's on penalties, and I know that penalties is just it's folly to rely on them in any given game week. But
he's on penalties. How many times do you hear that?
Dude, that's all I'm going to hear the cartel go, he's got many routes to points. He's on set pieces. He's got goal threat from open play, and he's on penalties. Like, you can guarantee what they're going to say.
Yeah. Routes to points.
Yeah, I see it, but I feel like there are better assets at that price point with better fixtures that will score more points than him. For example, Wilson. I talked about the fixtures for him before. Like Wilson's 6 million and Ndai is 6.2. If you had to sell me one of the two, I'm never picking Ndai. I'm picking
Deadly
Wilson
Dom. Deadly Dom.
Oh, mate.
I've renamed him. Deadly. We're reclaiming the Dominik Szoboszlai nickname.
That was pretty funny. It was really weird. Like, chat, FYI, I sent a message and I said it to in the PubCast chat, and I was like I said Luke yesterday, like one of my admins in my group chat, basically said, let's do an admin chat. Like, who's going to score more points than Haaland this week? And I said, I'm picking dirty 2-point Dom. And Luke goes, mate, if you didn't want to play the game, just be honest. I was like, no, I'm being serious. I reckon the dude's going to return this week. Like, I don't know why.
You did. I saw that. Yeah,
I had my moment in the sun. And I know what happens when you have your moment in the sun. You have your moment in the shade. It normally follows pretty soon after the sun. That's the way life works. And I was like, if there was a week that he was going to return, it was this week, just after that penalty miss and whatever. I don't think he'll return next week, but I mean, it was nice for those people who got the 0 points last week to get the return this week. That was funny. And he's a good footballer. I don't think from a holding perspective with the way Liverpool are playing that he's a good pick. It's like Virgil van Dijk. I don't think he's a good pick. Yes, you've had your bullet header. Move on. Sell him. You're not going to get another one of them anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, my loose plan is that my team? Is obviously get rid of Foden next week, and then probably I'm looking at Szoboszlai to Sade, but he's got some terrible fixtures in the next. It didn't seem like the ideal time to bring him in. I mean, look at their fixtures. I'd be bringing him in against away to Newcastle and then home at Arsenal. I mean, after that, it's bloody fantastic. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just bite the bullet because transfers are pretty tight at the minute. You know? Yeah, rather than bringing someone else in and then having to go back again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's loose plans. But I mean, they all change so quickly. I mean, I was on about taking a hit for Palmer last week, and then quickly that moves around. Should we have a look at the players that can hurt us tomorrow? Has it updated yet? Look at this. It's bloody live FPL. According to live FPL.
There, Gary.
Simon?
Nice model on the screen.
Nice model on the screen. You mean me? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. According to Lisa, she's there to distract you from the fact that every single player.
Your team's
all these guys have got zero. They have all got zero, haven't they? So it was the rank hadn't updated earlier on. So players that can hurt you would just read out ones that are above 10%. So the ones I own, Kelleher is on 10%, Gabriel and Timber, 80 and 30%. Enzo's on 20%, Saka on 40%, Thiago on 82%. I mean, that's the crazy thing. Haaland,
what?
I know
Saka's
he's already
on
played.
40%. Saka's 40%.
In the top 10K, yeah.
Oh, and Anderson?
Which one, mate?
Oh, yeah, 5 and 12.
5%, yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is that shows how much many people missed the deadline. 173% ownership for Haaland.
Or they just ignored the leak. Or they just ignored the leak.
I think they didn't hear it, mate. I mean, surely if you're in the top 10K at this time of the season, you hear that leak, you're going to react to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we've had. This is why I'm like, I never change my plan based on leaks, unless like I've actually got a player like I need to make a sub or transfer to cover because I've got no bench cover. That's the only time I'd ever react off a leak. But I feel like it's Haaland, mate. Like if he doesn't, I was actually shocked he came on. I thought that he was gonna, if he was benched, he wouldn't play. I can't believe Pep brought him on. I don't know why Pep brought him on. Because I feel like he just needs a rest. And like, you're winning the game 2-0. Like, why do you need to bring him on? It's not like you need a third goal or a fourth goal. You're winning the game comfortably. It was a good chance to give him 90 minutes off. And I feel like he missed a trick with that. Yeah.
What time did he come on?
I feel sorry for Nightmare. I feel like if Pep was a normal manager and he was giving him a rest, it reminds me of Reska last season. Like when Nicholas Jackson and who was it that was on the bench? And I got Isaac's points off the bench because like he was just giving Jackson and whoever it was a rest, and it didn't bring him on. I'm like, Haaland needed the rest. I am shocked that he brought him on. People say he brought him on so he could score a goal, but like that's not the answer. Sometimes when you're out of form, sometimes you just need an actual rest and just relax.
Yeah. So let's have a look. The players that I don't own that can hurt us tomorrow. Raya 32%, Pickford and Sanchez on 12%. Most of the defenders, not many players that can hurt me, according to this. Calvert-Lewin 14. If we go down right the way to the bottom here, Rice is the one that can majorly hurt me. Rogers.
What team? What's Rice's ownership?
Rice 51, Rogers 42, Raya 32. We've already said him. Bruno 25%. So he's not been bought in by that many. I mean, he's been bought in by a lot, but not by everyone. Bruno G 25, but obviously potentially injured. Chalobah 24, Tarkowski 23, Calvert-Lewin we've already said, and then Chow 13, Pickford. Yeah, I'm feeling very confident about tomorrow, though, mate. I mean, there's sort of 4 or 5 players in there that could really hurt me tomorrow, but then I've got 8 players that could hurt other people. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I actually think that me and you are definitely going to get green arrows this week. I can't see anywhere where we don't. But with 170% Captain Haaland this week, and we've got our captains to come. I just don't envisage a world unless our players get sent off or do something retarded that we get a red arrow. I just think that it's all our players can blank, and I think we still get green. Like
we can't do anything retarded. We've done odd transfers. It'd have to be one of them that does the players that do something retarded.
But yeah, I think like tomorrow I'll look at the results and I think. Hold on, I'll pull up what I went with for tomorrow. So I went with. These are more accurate than Rob T's predictions, by the way, folks. I've got 2 from 5 games tonight. Rob T 0 from 5. But.
Kanji's just text me. He can join.
I should show my predictions instead of Rob T's. They're more accurate. All right. So tomorrow, Gary, I've gone with a 3-0 Brentford win against Nottingham Forest.
Did you put it in the thing? I know you don't. Oh, come on, yeah. Kanji's going to join. So
brilliant. Fantastic.
We can get a little bit of a reaction for the game week from him.
Dirty Dom. So I've gone tomorrow. 3-0 Brentford against Nottingham Forest. I think Thiago goes big tomorrow. I think Sade goes big tomorrow as well. And I think Collins goes big tomorrow too. I've gone with a 2-0 Chelsea win against Palace. I'm not overly confident in that, but I feel like Chelsea are just one of them lucky teams in terms of clean sheets. Newcastle, Aston Villa. Lots of people say this might be the game of the week. I think it's going to be dead boring. I reckon it's going to be 0-0. And then I've gone with a 1-1 draw for Arsenal, Man United. I wish I could revise my result for Everton Leeds. I'd like to go back and change that to 0-0, but I can't do that. But I originally predicted Everton 2, Leeds 0, but I think that has 0 written all over it.
I don't know. DCL's got a way of, especially against his old club, and you know what I mean. Just popping
it's like
up
Haaland.
and
Photo glib. Try too hard, no cigar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident about it. What do you reckon the chances are of Thiago going big against Forest? I reckon he could get not a hat trick, but a brace, or I think he's definitely going to score.
He could get a 12-13 pointer, I reckon.
You got any regrets on not captaining him?
I never thought. No, it was always between Wilson and Tarkowski. I'm like, at the moment, Tarkowski hasn't played. I'm like, going, should have captained Wilson, like I'd originally started at the start of the week. I feel like if this happens this week and Wilson smashes Tarkowski, and realistically, I would expect Wilson to probably beat Tarkowski. It depends on whether there's a clean sheet. If there's a clean sheet, Tarkowski might match him. But if there's not, then he's definitely not. But I think from next week, if that's the case, I'm just going to back in the captain I thought at the beginning of the week. Because whenever I do that, it bangs. Whenever I change it during the week, I get it wrong. So this will be the last time I change it if it doesn't come in.
Yeah. Should we do a quick Q&A while we're waiting for Kanji to join?
Yes, get your comments in the chat. Lots of good stuff going in there. Sorry, I'm normally really quick at responding, but me and Gary have been in-depth. It's been an in-depth conversation. I've quite enjoyed it.
But I think, I don't know if you noticed the messages going on our WhatsApp chat, but this has actually been one of the most cordial lock-ins we've had, hasn't it? I think it's just me and you, and we've had a good game week. We're not gloating over each other.
Gary. We've both done well.
I know. Yeah, so let's have a chat. Yeah, so you doing any watch logs tomorrow, mate?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're back live at 2 p.m. We're going to cover the Crystal Palace Chelsea game, Brentford Nottingham Forest, Newcastle Aston Villa, and then I'm going to do the Arsenal Man United game. Obviously, I'm a little bit conflicted because obviously I've got Rice and Gabriel versus Bruno. So I'm kind of hoping, Gary, that game finishes 1-1. Bruno Fernandes penalty. A Gabriel header and a Rice assist would be the icing on the cake. Finish 1-1. You
enjoyed that one last week, though, didn't you?
Oh, mate, that was so good. I like this week and last week have been great fun. Like, even though like people sit there and go, I just enjoy watching football in general. And even though like last week it was so funny that Dirty Dom got 0 points, even today, I was like, I'd said to a few people, I reckon he returns today. So when he returned, I was actually quite excited because I was like, I said he returned, and he did. But like, I love goals. I hate watching clean sheets. Like, nil-alls have no interest. I couldn't give two tosses if I have captain like Tarkowski, for example. And yes, it sucks when your captain blanks or whatever. But like, if the DCL unit scores, I'm going to get excited because I love watching goals. I don't like watching nil-nils, and we've had too many nil-nils this season that have just pissed me off.
So, Kanji's on his way. Greg said we should do a poll on Game Week 24 captain. Okay, I'll do that. Colm is asking us, when are you looking to use the wildcard, Game Week 24 or nearer to Game Week 32? Well, I am going Game Week 32, 100%. Same. I don't feel the need to... I mean, we'll probably, on the podcast, we'll probably have a look at... We'll probably have a look at a couple of wildcard drafts in the podcast. But I don't see the... here he is. He's the man. Kanji.
Here he is.
We were holding on for you, mate, because we were going to wrap up because it was only me and Darius this week, mate.
Oh, my
How are you doing?
How did you guys survive this long? Just you two?
How good is that? Well, we had a good weeks, Kanji. Me and Gary actually having pretty good weeks.
We've actually, there's been no lording it over each other. Well, a little bit, but not much, because we both had I've had Anderson and Dirty Dom, and Darius has got Wilson and also you've got mate Bowen. Anyway, Kanji,
you're nice. Here. Everyone's doing well.
My excuse to go and powder my nose.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead. I got you. I'm here in the meantime.
I need to ask you a question, Kanji.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Can you please explain what Liverpool are doing as a football club? Like, because I've watched them, and I don't know about the formation today. Like I watched what was it? They line up in a 4-2-2-2, and it just looked retarded. What is Slot doing? And is he in trouble? And are you concerned as a Liverpool fan?
So I'll be honest, Darius, this is the only game I missed of the week, so I can't really comment on Liverpool's performance, but I can tell you an overall general theme. All right, like we have not been creating enough chances. We haven't been winning games. We're just right now we haven't been scoring goals. Bro, I couldn't believe I looked at my phone. I'm in the middle of a meeting, okay? Like I'm just meeting all my new teammates in my master's degree, and I look at my phone. I'm like, hold on a second, Szoboszlai assists, Van Dijk. Like that's exactly what the analytics community wanted for weeks. That's what they wanted for Burnley. They finally got it, probably after half of them sold them. And now it's like again, it's like I think it was a Salah assist to Szoboszlai free kick. That's what my group chat was telling me in the meantime. But yeah, I just think the fact we conceded 3 goals is shocking. So I have to rewatch the game and I can tell you my opinion. But right now, it's the constant theme of we're just not good enough. And like we haven't found the right solution where like we're able to control games and create chances. So this is like an anomaly game where like we've conceded a lot of goals. So I don't know what to say, but like this season in general is a write-off. Like we've wasted a season of Van Dijk and Salah in their prime. And if anything, like they are no longer going to be in their primes for much longer. Right. So we need the new guys to start stepping up.
I tell you what, like I look at last season, right? Of the 3 players out of contract, so you had Mo Salah, you had Virgil van Dijk, and you had Trent. Now, I don't rate Trent as a defender at all. Like anyone that watches my channel will tell you that I think he's a shit defender, but he's really good from an attacking perspective. Like he's got a wicked ball into the box. He's good from an attacking perspective, and I feel like Liverpool have missed that this season. I don't think it's made any difference defensively because they've actually got shitter since he's left, which makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. I think the main problem this year, like people have been saying Konate's been the issue, right? Like Konate wasn't there today, and Virgil shoulder bullet Van Dijk was woeful. From a defensive perspective, Kanji, he was unbelievably shit. Like he made Evanilson look like prime Ronaldo, and he's just lucky that Evanilson can't finish like prime Ronaldo because or else it would have been a lot more than 3 goals. Like Evanilson in the second half, Gilted's chance should have scored a brace in that game, but he missed. I mean, people talk about the aura that Virgil has. If he had an aura, it's gone. It's long gone. I don't know where it's been lost. It's been lost in transition from holiday in the summer from the Netherlands back to the UK, but it's gone missing in action. And I feel like the problem with Liverpool, like I don't know how much they're paying Virgil van Dijk, and I don't know how long the contract's for. I'm guessing it's 3 years.
2 years. It's Salah and Van Dijk are 2 years.
2 years. So I'd say that Virgil's probably earning in excess of like £250,000 a week,
yes,
give or take. Right?
Yeah, both of them are.
Like, I just look at it and I go, they should have paid up whatever Palace needed in the summer for Mark Gahey. Like they have missed it. They have missed a trick. They've missed a trick not buying him in the summer. Now City has swooped in and paid 20 mil. Like Liverpool should have been there in the summer and just paid whatever it took to get him because their defense has been woeful. Like all season, it's been woeful.
Bro, it's not okay. Look, it's easy to blame Van Dijk, but Van Dijk's standards are so high that he's a victim of his own success. And I would say that Konate has been the one that's been very inconsistent. Like if you think about the goal that Haaland scored against Liverpool, it's on Konate. And like this happens almost every game. Like remember when we played Leeds, it's like that Konate slide tackle, and then okay, now they have a goal, and then they get another one, and then another one. But it's like Konate's performance has been so inconsistent, and like you're partnering him with Joe Gomez. Like it's easy to blame Van Dijk, but like we really just lack center backs. Like we lack
20 minutes.
What the hell? Bro, Gomez injured again. This guy's injured all the time. Oh my god, it's just such a mess.
You know who Gomez reminds you of, Kanji? Phil Jones. He reminds you of Phil Jones. Phil Jones would come back. He'd play a game of football, and somehow someone would assassinate his calf muscle or his hamstring from about 5 kilometers away, and he'd be gone for another 3 weeks.
Kanji, I know I missed a bit of the conversation there, but how pleased are you? Obviously, very disappointed with the Liverpool result, but how pleased are you with? I've renamed him from Dirty Dom to Deadly Dom during this live stream. I mean, Darius handed it to us enough. I think, you're his greatest supporter, Kanji, and I'll get your team up as well. Just talk us through it, and how pleased are you with that?
Oh, wow.
Dominik Szoboszlai.
I think this week was a week where we separated the casuals from the engaged managers. You're going to see some managers in your own personal mini leagues that have Haaland captain, Foden vice captain. Your week is already over. You're probably on a red arrow.
Roberto and Andrew.
Yeah, like you're basically on a red. And like you had to FPL is I don't know. Nick Trig is gonna be like I thought he would be on here ranting because like this season is really I've never been more like certain about how to play FPL because it's like you really have to monitor minutes. And if you're not available at the deadline, you're not going to do well in this game. Like you need to have all available information at the deadline. And that's what it's become. Like I live in Toronto. I had to wake up at like 5:45 a.m. I had a business meeting that I had to get to in the afternoon. I had to make sure I woke up just to get the news. And I don't even have like I already sold Foden to Bruno. But because I woke up, that's why I changed the captaincy to Bukayo Saka. That's why I benched Haaland. I know I put on Alderete for 1 point, but that should have been like 3. It could have been whatever Mukiele got, stupid Mukiele versus Alderete in the last few weeks. But like if you're not available at the deadline, you're not going to do well. And that's like one really important piece of information that I've learned. And I think like this week in particular, Dominik Szoboszlai, he finally got his revenge. Bro, I wish he got that pen. If he had scored that pen last week, oh my goodness, I'd be so excited. But at this point, I think most people have already sold. People that don't believe in him have already sold. And if they didn't get points today, they would have sold him next week. So maybe some people will look to hold on. I have no intention of selling. What you have with Dom is you have set pieces. If Salah ever gets a bench, he's going to end up with the first choice pen share. And then you also have the guy that's going to play 90 minutes. He's the teacher's pet and he's so cheap. And it's like we've all these guys missing games. Look, Haaland's missed, Foden's missed, Saka's missed, Palmer's missed time. But you know who doesn't miss time? Dominik Szoboszlai. So that's why he's in my team. And if you look, that's the theme with all of the players that I've got, pretty much like 90 minutes on pens, except for him. So he's like the one that will kind of dictate how my season goes. So in a week where I've taken a -4, I have Szoboszlai carrying me up, and hopefully it'll be another green arrow. And just by the way, I've had this running theme. Like I've been telling you guys, I think Arsenal's gonna win the league, and there's no player I didn't know who to trust. Like I could go Njai captain -4 I'm in. I could go Palmer captain because he's rested, but I'm gonna trust Bukayo Saka to go win the Premier League, get a result against Darius's Manchester United at the Emirates. Come on, Bukayo, go win the Premier League for me.
I've got a question about that, Kanji. So like, I mentioned this with Gary before when we were covering like the Bruno Fernandes. So like a lot of the cartel, a lot of the sheep that use analytics bought in Bruno Fernandes for Foden when they heard the leak. Unlike me and Trig that moved literally last week because we saw it was a good move. And well, I definitely believed that Foden was shit and he needed to go anyway. And I thought I want Bruno for next week and let's just make it a week early. I don't understand why anyone, based off what we've seen this season, would captain Bukayo Saka in any game of football over Bruno Fernandes. Like when Bruno Fernandes is in the 10, world-class 10, you know that Bruno is not giving up a penalty to some merchant on the sideline. He will be taking it. If Man United get a penalty, Bruno Fernandes will be stepping up. Not only that, but you know that everything runs through him. And lastly, you know he is 100% going to play 90 minutes. Like, I understand Arsenal's defense really good, but Man United, they don't show up against the likes of Fulham, the likes of West Ham, the likes of Nottingham Forest. But you can guarantee that team will show up against the likes of Man City like they did last week
in a big game,
Arsenal. Yeah. And if Man United score a goal, there is a 50% chance that Bruno Fernandes is involved. Now, if Arsenal score a goal, it's way lower if Saka's involved.
There's a lot of ifs in there, Darius.
Captain, I would have gone Bruno captain over Saka.
Yeah, you know what? That's a fair point. And honestly, I considered that at 6 a.m. But when you wake up at that time and you're like, oh my God, Haaland is benched, I'm just like, safety net, Bukayo Saka. I've been there like almost all season. He's been in my team. I've captained him before in previous years. He's done me well. Bruno was definitely an option, but not against Arsenal. I don't bet against Arsenal. I don't captain against Arsenal. I don't like playing attackers versus Arsenal. Bruno is the anomaly. So I get what you're saying. And Bruno, by the way, was the best player in the league last week. So like captaining him is honestly not that crazy. But I'm back in Arsenal, bro. That's been my theme.
Kanji, because I'm going to wrap up in a minute because we've been going for like an hour and 35 now. Did you have a massive panic when you saw that league. I mean, we talked about it at the start of the stream, but just I said to Darius at the start, I almost bent Haaland to get Lacroix in. When I hit the button, the game had either crashed or updated. So it didn't register it. It was just like 10 minutes of utter madness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was actually watching, I think it was Focal stream. I'm always watching Andy, Let's Talk FPL. But at this point, I already knew Andy what he was gonna do because I watched so much of his content. So I moved to Focal, and then he was shocked. I don't know if you saw the picture of his face that was going around. I actually, by the way, for context, I rewatched every single content creator on YouTube. Like this is like I watched K-Man, I watched Fran, I watched Focal, I watched Andy, I think Raptor as well, and I rewatched like all of their I rewatched their deadline stream for the last 10 minutes. I'm curious to see like how they reacted to that moment, because how I reacted, like as you're mentioning, is like I literally was like, okay, I think Haaland is going to be dead this week. He's going to probably get 1 point. It's so easy to say in hindsight. Other people would say, 20 minutes of Haaland against Wolves, he can still score. Like, yeah, of course. But like, I'm like, I think he's just going to be a dead pick this week. So I'm going to bench him. I'd already sold Foden. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm going to actually take the -4, put NDI in. I actually locked my team on Twitter. Initial intention wasn't to go for NDI. Like he was there, and then all my friends talked me out of it. They're like, don't take the hit. Don't take the hit. You've taken too many hits. Stop being aggressive. But then after the news came out, I'm like, forget it. I'm going to take NDI, bench Haaland. Let's have fun. But yeah, I was shocked, and I'm surprised Haaland was benched because he's been so reliable. And not in terms of goals, but in terms of minutes, he's been pretty reliable for us. Now, Haaland is injury prone, so this can happen again. We just have to be aware. So it's good to have Bruno Fernandes there because I know that's one player I can always rely on.
I said, Kanji, that Haaland would be benched. I was very confident. I was very hot on it all week.
Really?
And yet no one believed me. That's because I've got a different football analytic mind to most.
That's okay. No, I think this is why FPL, I always put on my team selection at the end of it, I put hashtag play it your way. Because like you want, like when I make a move, for example, when I made the move of Foden to Bruno, me and you did it on the same day. Me, you, and Nick did it like last Saturday.
Yeah, we talked about it after this. We
finished. We went off the live, and it was the three of us. We were talking. Gary had to leave for some family thing, and like we were talking. We made the move, and I remember posting it in my group chat. And I got so much hate. Oh my god, you're so aggressive, bro! It's Wolves at home, and it's funny. All these people that were hating, they all made the same move on the deadline and paid 0.3 more. So funny.
Yeah. Okay. FYI, I've just seen Greg in the chat. I bet D-Unit deadline streams are entertaining. You know what? When the news came in that Haaland was benched, right, and Foden came benched, there was no panic on the D-Unit stream because the D-Unit's been saying all week he's going to get benched. Like, I didn't – the only thing I thought about was, like, do I start O'Reilly instead of Haaland? I was like going, well, Haaland can easily come off the bench, score. O'Reilly, I actually didn't think they'd keep a clean sheet today, so I'm a little bit shocked that they did, and yeah, I missed out on 5 points, whatever. But, like, no panic. No panic. I actually thought it was really funny. Everyone came in and said, Andy's running around in a panic. He's buying Bruno Fernandes. He wants a player for his bench so he can bench Haaland. I was like, they're a fucking bunch of clowns. They don't know anything about football. If they'd actually looked at the fixtures, they would have known Haaland was going to get benched game week 1. Instead, all they said in their team selection videos, Kanji, 99% chance that Haaland starts. They've got no idea, those idiots. They make it up as they go along.
That's true. Did you guys did you consider, like, there is a double game week for Arsenal coming up, right? After, like, I think Wolves, I don't think they scored last week. I could be wrong, but I don't think they scored last week. They didn't score this week again. There's a double game week where they're playing against Arsenal. I think my Gabriel captain is pretty much locked. In fact, I will go as far as to say I'm pretty sure I'm going to triple captain Gabriel. I think that Wolves fixture for Gabriel is an absolute lock. Lock that up. He's at least getting 6 points in that game. And Brentford is just house money. Go get me 4 points with Defcon. Go get me another clean sheet. Go get me a goal. It's like I'm excited to see what Gabriel can do in the double.
I think so. Can I just kick out something now? Darius, to be fair, he did make those calls this week. He did call Haaland. He did call Foden bench. Then he also claims like calls everything. So earlier on in our group chat, he was like, I told you Bayern would score nightmare. He was in my like top 150 captaincy picks this week. If you pick 150 top captains, 850, does it really matter? I mean, one of them's going to come in, like, and he also sort of calls out everything. Like, tonight he would have come on if Szoboszlai had done nothing. I've been saying it all season. Dirty Dom, dirty Dom, dirty Dom, dirty Dom. But instead, he's like, I said he was going to do it this week. You know what I mean?
But I did. I said it to you before. Gary's trying to say that I didn't say it. I said last night, Dirty Dom's going to return today. I was like, I sent a message. I can show proof in the video. But I literally sent a message saying, I reckon he returns. He's going to beat Haaland this week. I've just got a feeling he does it after.
I reckon you send a message to someone saying every single player in the Premier League is going to do badly or well this week, just so you can evidence it later on.
I know you want to end the stream pretty quickly, but could you just show me how you two did? I just want to see your team.
Yeah, of course I can.
What were your guys' transfers, by the way?
The differentials from the PubCast this week are pretty good. So Gary went with Romero, who ended up, I think, with 8 or 9 points. I went with Marmoush. Marmoush, 10 points.
Wow, amazing.
10 points. So FYI, so the 4 one-week punts I went with this week, Jared Bowen as a forward, 12 points. Marmoush is one of the 2 midfielders, 10 points. We've got Garner and Collins to come. At the moment, I'm well on my 1-week punts this week.
You're cooking. Wow.
Yeah, so that's Darius for anyone listening.
Arkowski captain Rodarius is coming with fire. Oh my goodness, Monday night's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, 25 points versus Wilson.
Bowen and Wilson.
Ireland.
Okay, you're already on a green this week. You just need 4 points from Tarkowski. Wow, I'm so jealous. Great team.
And myself, Szoboszlai, and Anderson.
You kept Szoboszlai. I thought you said you were selling last episode. You're like, oh, Kanji, I've given up faith. Remember? You're like, oh, Kanji, I gave up faith.
I didn't. That was before I knew Tarkowski was going to get injured.
Review said no,
and I didn't captain him. I've captained Thiago. Anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap up there. Kanji, thanks so much for joining, mate. It'd be great if you can hopefully be here from the start.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, this I usually don't have meetings on the weekend, but this was the first.
No worries. And hopefully, maybe we'll have Trig back next Saturday. Who knows? But please do join us next Saturday. I'm sure me, Darius, and Kanji hopefully will at least be here. Please join us at the podcast at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. We'll be previewing Game Week 24. Darius, we all know where we can find you, but tell us, mate, and.
Yeah, live watch on tomorrow. If you want to see some, emotional reaction to the Arsenal-Man United game, just hop in to the channel tomorrow. It's probably going to be, hopefully it's epic. It could be miserable, but I live in hope.
All right. It's going to be fun.
Kanji, where can we find you, my friend, on the old X?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Kanji FPL. I think it's going to be a fun week because I have to go home. I have to go rewatch Liverpool. I have to go find out how all of the engaged managers, what moves they made. I'm curious to see what everybody did.
Cool. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Enjoy or have a good rest of the game week. Bye, everyone.
See ya.